Alright, Vasi, can you please sing us the podcast intro?
This is the podcast of a chaotic voyage. Come with us, da!
Nice.
That's it.
Welcome to the Chaotic Voyage. I'm Cameron, your captain as always. And with me is my first mate, Paris.
Hello.
And Officer Vasi.
Ahoy hoy.
That's something.
Ahoy, hoy.
Speaking of ahoy hoy, whatever that is, where's Paul Johnson?
Whatever that is.
Anyone? Has anyone seen him?
Anyone. Paul Johnson
Yep, that's the
is
one.
on a fishing trip with
Nice.
Steve.
Steve.
Yeah,
Our
Steve,
good friend Steve of the podcast.
the pirate.
Okay.
You know, the only guy on our podcast who dresses up like a pirate.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Yep.
Steve. Very nice.
Yeah.
Hope they don't catch any fish.
Oh, yeah. 'Cause that's not vegan.
No.
Do you feel for fish?
I mean,
Hashtag feel for fish.
look, I don't think it's right, but I'm not going to tell you not to go fishing.
I wasn't
You
going
know?
to go
But
fishing.
it's pretty gruesome. I mean, like, you pull them out of the water and they're still, like, gasping.
The brutal part is you've put a hook through their mouth,
Yeah.
Oh, no.
flapping
That's-
all over the... And then you just, like, say, oh, that's a nice fish, and then you take the hook out of their mouth, and then you throw it back in the water.
Yeah.
You either throw them back in the water or you throw them in the bucket and let them, like,
Die.
breathe to death.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that is a very
It's pretty
inhumane.
gruesome.
What about catching them with a net? Would you
Use a
feel
net.
better about that?
I mean, they're still
Um,
gonna, like, breathe to death. You're not, like, killing them straight away, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're prolonging the suffering.
What if you catch them with a net and then chuck them back?
Yeah, Annette doesn't like fish, so she always chucks them back.
Oh, shut up.
Thanks.
So are you going fishing with a net cam?
Yeah.
Who's a net, Cam?
Ooh!
Tell us.
New love interest.
Annette's this, something I met at work.
Do you say something?
Did I?
So you said something I meant at work.
I will neither confirm or deny.
Did you say you will either confirm or deny?
I don't know. Will I? Or won't I? And that brings us to our first topic. Avengers Endgame.
Ooh.
Are you guys keen? Have you heard about it?
Yes.
It's a movie.
Heard about it a lot.
Thanks, Cameron.
You're welcome.
Yes, I've heard about it. Yes, I am keen. When does it
Nice.
come out?
April 26th.
Yeah,
Holy crap. That
Here
is
in the
very
land
soon.
of Oz.
it is very soon.
It's this month, actually.
It is this month. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I can barely contain my excitement.
So excited.
As you can tell.
As you can tell by my very excited voice.
Be excited.
Wow. Endgame is almost here. I'm Cameron.
Oh, hey Cameron. How's Annette?
Hey, Cameron.
Very sharp. So I have a conspiracy theory about Endgame. Would everybody like to hear
Oh,
it?
do you? Yeah, I'll like to hear that.
Wow. Tell us.
So there was more footage released around-ish today, a minute, new look. And there was a very important detail that I picked up on that led me to believe that they will time travel in the new Avengers movie.
Oh, yeah. With the time stone.
No, remember, Doctor Strange has been dusted.
True. And Thanos has the time stone.
Exactly.
But they
So
could
we
get
don't know
back.
anybody who can go back. So there's only two viable ways really for time travel, and it's Ant-Man,
A black hole.
yeah, the quantum realm,
Yeah.
okay, and Captain Marvel, because now we know that she can time travel.
I don't know that she can time travel as such. can just-
Someone said it in an interview.
I haven't heard that.
I can't remember who said it.
Who said it in an interview?
No, I was watching an interview a couple of days ago after I went and saw it again.
Yeah.
And they were like, yes, it has been confirmed that Captain Marvel can time travel. Because, like, to do with the, Tesseract power that she has within her.
Yeah, but the Tesseract power's to do with space and not time. So,
Maybe it was Samuel L. Jackson who said it. So we know Captain Marvel can time travel because of an interview that I saw. I can't remember who did it. I will give you the source later. Allegedly. But you'll notice it kind of comes from like this other theory as well, where so far before like the new footage that's just come out, everything we've seen has been from like the first 15 to 20 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
And I think that was confirmed-ish, more or less, by one of the producers.
Yeah.
But the footage that came out today, you will notice, if you look at Black Widow, she has the blonde bob in some parts, and in some parts she has her red hair back.
I did notice she had red hair, but I just assumed that was for all of the footage.
Well, she doesn't, because if you watch the previous 2 trailers that have been released, they're both blonde bob, which is her, like, Infinity War hair.
Yeah.
Infinity War
So,
hair.
Warfare.
she wouldn't just dye her hair in the middle of the movie, right? That's a bit weird. Okay, that's a bit weird.
That's what girls do. They always have to have costume changes and stuff, right?
Yeah, but like not
right,
if they're in the middle of like, you know what?
In the middle of a war. For their
Not
friends.
if they're like in the middle of a war with like.
You want to look good for the war, don't you?
No. So supposedly they fight Thanos in the first 15 minutes of the film.
Right.
They must do something. So then the theory is that they time travel in the middle of the movie and then go back, because there's also been images released from the set that look like they're set in New York, like back in like the first Avengers.
Yeah.
There's footage, like photos have come out from that with the actors now in their current costumes.
Mm.
Which is like post Infinity War, but then it's back in the old time. So there's lots going on, but I think that they time travel.
I have heard different theories about the time travel.
I still think they could time travel just by like sneaking into Thanos' house and just stealing back the time stone.
But he's not in his house. He's like on a farm.
Shack.
Yeah, he's on a farm now. It's at the end of Infinity War.
Oh, that's right. Is it Clint's farm?
No, it's his farm. He's got his own farm.
So what does he do now? He just like...
He farms.
He raises sheep and starts chopping wood on his farm and driving tractors and stuff.
Yeah.
Now that he's accomplished his goals, that's what he goes and does.
Yeah. I mean, what else would you do?
I don't know.
His daughter's dead.
Oh, he did it. He can't.
His daughter.
That's his fault.
And like his other children are dead.
Yeah. So what's he gonna do?
What about Nebula?
Well.
Yeah, she's basically disowned.
I think they could sneak onto the farm and take one of the rocks. It's possible.
Just like a random rock, not one of the Infinity Stones.
They just... just a random rock in a field.
They spend like the whole movie, getting to his farm, sneaking past him just to steal like
a piece of quartz.
They're like, this looks like the right one, but Thanos just painted a bunch of rocks like the
That's
same
one
colors.
of his hobbies. Post-war.
Painting rocks.
Rock painting.
The next Marvel movie is Farmer Thanos.
I'd watch it.
It's just like the ins and outs of his daily life.
I mean, if there's ever going to be a movie to get me interested in farming, that would be it.
Yeah, I really liked the movie, but there was that... I'm not sure about that whole 20-minute uncut scene of him ploughing the fields. Not sure about that decision by the directors.
The time travel in Endgame is actually they go back and then they like ruin his crop before he harvests it, and he gets mad.
They salt the earth so nothing can grow.
Yeah. Then he gets mad, and then he goes after them. And they're like, what did we do?
That's what started the war.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
it's a good theory.
I'm keen.
Does anybody else have any conspiracy theories?
In general or surrounding the movie?
Surrounding Avengers. Why would I just ask about conspiracy theories? Although, put a pin in that one, because I'd like to hear about that later.
We've talked about it before.
I'd like to hear about it again.
You can never run out of conspiracy theories.
It's true. Thanos actually lives in the Earth and he farms. He farms magma.
The Thanos.
Oh my god.
I think time travel is like, the big thing. I don't know if I'm keen for it. I hate when movies use time travel as like the fix for things.
Well, it's like they can't just leave half these characters dead. Like, we know there's going to be a new Spider-Man movie, so they have to unkill Spider-Man.
They at least have to get Spider-Man back and leave everyone else.
That's it.
You just like undo the snap. Just bring them all back. They went somewhere, right? Yeah.
Re-snap.
That's what they might do, is go back and get the stone so he can't ever do it.
Yeah.
What they need is Thanos to snap his other finger, and that'll undo it.
I think like...
Or he snaps both at the same time, and that somehow fixes it.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Yeah, the old 1-2 snap. You're dead, you're back. You're dead, you're back.
They used time travel to go back in time to when Thanos was a kid and make sure he never learns how to snap his fingers. So when it gets to...
They just teach him. Or every time he tries to, they just like slap his wrist. No, naughty.
So then he goes to snap and he's like,
Yeah.
You don't need to snap on a farm.
Yeah, he's gonna snap in like Infinity War, but it's like he gets PTSD flashbacks of when a bunch of like adults came and broke
Back
his
to
fingers
school.
when he was trying to learn how to snap.
and he's like, I can't snap anymore.
You know what they say to him as well? They say, snap out of it.
Wow, good
That's what
Arctic
they
Monkey
say.
song.
Nice. Do I want to know?
Wow. That was good. So, Paris, you don't have any theories?
My theory is they'll just like sneak in Hawkeye with a like flock of sheep, and they'll like dress him up in like a woolly coat or something.
Alright.
He'll sneak into Thanos' farm, snatch a random rock. Hopefully, it's the right one, the time one.
Wow.
They'll go back to their little base, and they'll use it.
I love how in your mind of like what Thanos does, he like snaps half of the life out of existence, then he goes to his farm, takes the stones out of his Infinity Gauntlet, just starts like spreading them around his farm, like in the pebbles, the gravel and stuff, and it's like
No, he paints
They-
decoys.
yeah,
They're in the house attached to the farm. They're just sitting on the counter or something.
they're attached to the farm.
They're in like a fruit bowl on the counter.
They're in the farmhouse, just sitting on the counter. And
It does look like they fly to Thanos, though, to fight him.
Yeah.
The other real question is, who's saving Tony Stark?
That is a good question.
Private Ryan.
Well, okay.
I don't know actually.
Because we see him, like, leaving the message for Pepper.
Yeah.
And then, like, later on in, like, this new release footage, he's, like, there fighting. So how does he
Doesn't
get
Captain
out?
Marvel save them?
I was just
Well-
thinking that, like, maybe she's on her way back and she just passes
She's on a
him.
ship and...
She
That'd be
doesn't need a
awfully
ship. She can
convenient.
fly by herself.
How does she
That's
know that
true.
Tony Stark is good?
She's a good person. She sees someone floating out in space in need of rescue, and she's like, you know what? I'll help out. I'm a good person.
Yeah.
When he is like, oh, I happen to be in the Avengers that was named after you.
What a
Although
coincidence!
she wasn't really in the Avengers.
No, it was named after her.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that.
I mean,
That's true. She
No one
only
knows
knows
that.
Nick Fury.
I feel like Tony Stark would know that.
Tony would just have to be like, hey, you know Nick Fury? And she's like, yeah. And then
She's like, he's who's paging me.
I mean, Nick Fury came up with it, but I don't think he's really going to start telling people how he came up with the name. He's a very secretive person.
True,
We didn't
I
know
suppose.
until Captain Marvel.
So the snap happens, and half of... Well, she goes crazy wherever Captain Marvel is, so she gets the pager. She's like flying back, and then she sees Tony, and she's like, dude, what just happened? And then Tony's like, some guy with some stones just like snapped half of
Snapped
us
us
out
all
of
out.
existence.
Some guy with cool stones and snappy fingers.
And then he's like, hey, are you heading to Earth by any chance? And she's like, yes.
She's like, what's an Earth?
She's been to Earth.
You mean C...
53. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Cam.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Mercy.
Cam. True Marvel fan, Cam. At this point in time, when the Endgame is happening,
Yeah.
is Captain Marvel... Because isn't in the comics she's part of S.W.O.R.D., Carol Danvers?
She was part of S.W.O.R.D., but I think that's like part of our origin story. Well, I don't know. I want to sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. Actually, I think
Swords
it may have
not
been
around right
referenced
now?
in the Shield, Agents of Shield show, but I'm not 100% sure.
Because maybe if Sword's around now, I don't know, somehow Tony runs into
Contacts them.
Sword, or Sword runs into Tony. Sword's all like, let's help you out, bro.
Talk to Abigail
Yeah, bro,
Brand.
let's help you out.
Yeah.
Basically, Fassi, if you can't figure out, like, Sword is just another version of Shield, but
It's like the space version, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it has been mentioned before.
Shield deals with the Earth stuff.
And then
Sword deals with the alien bros.
yeah,
I think it was when they were talking about that all superheroes needed to like be registered and work for the government. I think that's when they spoke about Sword.
Oh, are you saying in Civil War?
Yes, Civil War.
nice. I don't remember.
I might have missed that,
Okay.
but I believe you.
Well, I haven't read any of the comics, so otherwise how would I know about it?
Yeah,
I only know about it from Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
What?
which is it's an
It's a show.
Avengers TV show.
Avengers
Ah.
TV show.
It's like a cartoon.
It's very good though.
I haven't seen it. So what's everybody's favourite Marvel movie?
That's a good question, Fassi. Mine is Infinity War. I think that's close to, if not a perfect 10 movie for me.
Oof.
Don't think I've mentioned that on the podcast before, but yeah.
Fair enough. Any reasons why, or just like as a whole, it was a great package?
Well, overall, I think it's a very good movie. And obviously, just seeing everyone come together and just seeing people interact that I wouldn't have thought would interact, like Thor and Groot and Rocket Raccoon.
So you're really gonna like Endgame.
Yeah, I hope so.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, I'm gonna like it. Bassie's from the
Spoiler
future.
alert, you like
She's seen my
Marvel.
reaction to it.
Yeah, time traveled back and was like, Cam loved this movie.
Yeah.
That's exactly what
She
I
can't
brought
tell us
back.
anything else, just that I love it.
I told you that time travel's in the movie, didn't I?
Uh-oh, spoilers. Just like seeing the different characters interact with each other. Captain America, some like superhuman, gets visited by, gets saved by a god, a tree man, and a talking raccoon, and that's just, it's fun.
That's it. That's Infinity War.
Yeah, that's the whole of Infinity War.
You don't need to see it now. We've done it all for you.
Yeah,
I want to see Beta Ray Bill interact with people like Thor,
What?
that'd be cool.
Captain America.
It's a Marvel character. They gets Thor's hammer at some point.
Oh,
He pretty much becomes Thor, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's like a
it's
new Thor
interesting.
or something. Yeah, he's the original owner of Stormbreaker, which is the name of the axe that Thor has in Infinity War.
Ah, okay.
Because usually he only has Mjolnir, and he does have a magic axe, but it's not like the same. There's no like lightning and stuff.
No.
I don't think.
No. But the lightning was in him all along.
That's true until Infinity War comes along, and apparently it's not.
Well,
You can only
That's
use it
movies.
once.
Yeah,
that's it. He only has one lightning inside of him.
yeah. Well, I'm glad he used it then.
Just a one pump chump.
Yeah.
That's so bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Speaking of Ragnarok, what's your favorite Marvel movie, Vassie?
Mine is actually Ragnarok.
Wow,
It was very good.
It is
I
very
thought it was
good.
really good. It was very hilarious. And I think it was the same director as What We Do in the Shadows,
Yeah,
It was.
which I also really loved.
Same.
Fantastic. I just thought it was a good balance. It wasn't like all action, action, action. It was really well done.
yeah. I think that's number 2 for me.
I didn't like a few things in Infinity War, so
Ah,
kind of
What
evens
didn't
out.
you like in it, Vassie? Please share.
There's too many fight scenes, if I'm honest.
yeah. If you don't like fights, I guess I can. See
I
that.
mean, like, you can have one or two, but when there's like 7 fight scenes, it's like, ugh. It's like, oh, now these people are fighting, and now these people are fighting. It was just like, there's too many, like, random fight scenes.
Yeah, I don't like the battle in Wakanda.
Yeah, that was a mess.
I guess I'm not supposed to say that if I said it's, like, basically a perfect 10 for me, but I can ignore that.
Well, you said it's not quite, but...
Yeah. Like...
I mean, he already said it was a perfect 10.
You said it is or almost is a perfect 10, I think.
Maybe.
So if we're going with almost is, you're allowed to criticize the fight.
Paris, edit it so it makes it sound like I said almost is.
Alright, I'll leave this part in.
Thanks. But yeah, the whole battle on Titan, I really love that.
That was good. Loved that.
The first battle in New York where they're versing
The children of Bodum. What are they called? Thanos's...
Children of Thanos or the Black Order.
Yeah, that was a good one. I like those fight scenes where it's like... There's still the same amount of action as like one of those big fight scenes, but it feels better because there's just like...
It's condensed. 5
or so like main characters in one fight.
Yeah.
Like against 1 or 2 or 3 bad guys. I don't know if it's the right word, but it feels like more concentrated fighting, I guess. There's not heaps of stuff going on the screen, like explosions everywhere.
Oh yeah.
But it's still like the same amount of action, just like less people. And then the one with Wakanda, it's like, who are all these people dying in this field?
Everybody's dying.
It's just like, am I supposed to care about these characters?
Although...
The part with Thor when he comes is cool. And the part with War Machine as well was really cool when they were working together, those guys.
Like when he was bombing everything.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool.
But like, the Wakandans have laser spears. And they're like taking down maybe one enemy at a time. And then War Machine's like, you're looking for this? And he just flies by and just like kills a million of them at once. Like with these explosions.
Good old-fashioned American explosives.
Yeah. They beat Wakanda, the supposed most advanced country in the world.
It's America!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing
Just waves
beats
a little
explosions.
flag and...
I'm going to go back and say I like that fight just because of Thor's entrance.
Thor's entrance did make it a lot better.
That's my favourite part of the movie, I think.
Yeah, that was probably mine too. Sorry to copy.
Wow.
I also love that part of the fight. It's like right after that, which is like Steve Rogers meeting Groot. Groot's like, I am Groot, and it's like, I am Steve Rogers. It's just...
It's cute.
Yeah. This is my friend, Rabbit and Tree. Another thing about the first fight in New York that I like was just like Spider-Man just coming out of nowhere. It's just like it makes the world feel bigger. Like a completely unrelated fight, and then out of nowhere, Spider-Man's there as well.
He was just on a bus somewhere.
Yeah, he's like, yo, I saw this fight happening, so I swung past.
I also liked how when Iron Man's explaining to Spider-Man what's going down, he's like, they're trying to steal a necklace from a wizard.
Yeah. It's another thing, just how crazy the movie is, but it's like, it's still super serious.
Yeah.
Like, pretend you didn't know any Marvel things, and I just came to you, and I'm like, yo, this awesome movie, right? There's a talking raccoon, a tree man, and these aliens steal a necklace from a wizard. You'd just be like, what is going on? That's like the stupidest movie I've ever heard of.
Marvel can get away with it though.
Yeah.
And yet they've sold millions.
Yeah.
I think it's like, you don't even notice the stupid in it. Like, you're just like, oh yeah, that's a wizard with a magic necklace, and then you full on accept that.
Well, it sounds about right.
You keep going.
Yeah, so you're like, yeah, that's Marvel.
So Paris, what's your favourite Marvel movie?
And why is it Winter Soldier?
It's Winter Soldier.
Can't blame you. That's
Sorry,
such a good
Paris.
movie.
You can cut that and answer yourself.
No, I'm going to keep that in, because everyone knows, and by everyone I mean you and Steve know.
Yeah.
It's Winter Soldier. Why? I just really like it.
I can't hear anybody. Is anybody there?
We're here.
Hello, I'm in the quantum realm. Please help me.
Ding bong.
Transition.
I didn't like Infinity War as much as you did. I'm not saying it's bad. Don't gasp.
Can you just edit
I
like
don't think
20
it's a
more
10 out
gasp
of
in there,
10.
please?
Can you just duplicate our gasps?
Yeah.
I will.
Thanks.
It was good. I don't think it was a 10. Just because I thought there was a lot going on, especially with some of the fight scenes like we talked about. But also, I liked the way the characters interacted, but it felt like it took like way too long to get them together. And I'm not talking about the other movies. I just mean like in this particular movie.
Yeah.
Like it just took forever for me. And I thought they could have done it a bit better. I'm not sure how, because I'm not a movie expert.
No, you're
but
not a movie expert, Paris. You
The
can't
movie
do
wasn't
it better.
made for you, Paris.
I'm not saying I could do it better.
The movie
I'm
was
saying
made for me.
Someone could have.
Well, get ready, because Endgame's going to be a nice 3 hours.
I'm keen.
I think
Fantastic.
the reason I like Endgame more is just because everyone's already together. Won't have to spend most of the
What
movie
do you mean?
watching
Half
them.
the people are gone.
Yeah, exactly. Paris, didn't you
But the
see
people
Infinity
who
War?
are left are all together now because they have to be.
Well, they're not all together yet.
They're not. Aren't they all in that big house? Not
No.
the big house.
They eventually will be, but like
Oh
Stark
no,
and
don't tell me it's like all their individual journeys and the different routes they take to get
That's
to
exactly
the
the
house.
whole movie. Didn't you notice?
It's like, should we take Forest Road? Why not Forest Road,
Nice.
Cameron?
I get
Or
it.
should we take Park Avenue?
Stark and Nebula are still in space. So is Captain Marvel. Scott Lang is like presumed
In the
dead
quantum
at the
realm.
start. Yeah. So not everyone's together.
Like, I just thought of some reasons why I really like Winter Soldier.
Oh yeah, why do you really like Winter Soldier?
Like, I like the relationship between the Winter Soldier and Cap America.
Yeah, but it takes forever for them to meet up in the movie, Paris.
It doesn't, and part of this is because of the reveal that it's Bucky.
What?
And you're like, it was Bucky
Really? The whole
all
time?
along.
No way.
He's been there for the whole movie because he was the bad guy. I really liked the reveal,
Yeah, that was a
Of
good
that.
review.
and also the fact that most of the movie is just Captain America against the world kind of thing. Everyone at Shield has turned against him, and it was really cool to see him like figure out why is everyone against me, and also Falcon's in it too, and that was really cool.
Yeah. Get all
But I loved just him like trying to survive and stuff, getting the help of Falcon, and also that elevator scene.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, that was awesome.
That's a good fight.
And yeah, just him like discovering that Hydra has infiltrated Shield after all these years and it's like been behind mass atrocities and stuff like that.
It was Hydra all along.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really? No way.
Just all of those reveals and the part where like that they have the fight on the helicarrier,
Yeah.
just one on one, and then just at the end where you think, oh, Cap's gonna drown, and then Winter Soldier like in a moment of clarity pulls him out of the water.
Actually, that fight scene on the helicarrier is cool, but it's not the fight on the street where Bucky does that knife flip.
Dude, that fight on the street was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
That's like right before the reveal of that it's Bucky.
Did you know that it was Bucky beforehand?
I actually didn't, and maybe that's why I really liked it more than you.
Yeah. I knew like as soon as it said the Winter Soldier, I'm like, oh, Bucky's
well,
coming
you
back.
know the you know the comics and stuff.
Yeah.
There's so many parts of Winter Soldier where I'm like, that was awesome. That was
Yeah.
awesome. It's like I got my checklist out and I'm just ticking everything off.
And you're like, wow, this hits all the boxes.
Yeah, that's what it does. That's why I like it a lot.
I wish I could watch it again for the first time and not know that Bucky was the
Yeah,
Winter
trust
Soldier.
me, it makes it so much better. I was not expecting it, and like, it made the relationship between them really complex. I'm like, how's this going to be resolved?
Yeah.
But it wasn't in like the Vin Diesel's evil now kind of way.
Oh,
Hey,
that was dumb.
Vin Diesel's not evil. He's just here for family.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say Vin Diesel. I should say Dom instead. But
Yeah,
know.
you should say Dom, but we all know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh no, they had Dom's kid.
I mean, that was very predictable.
Yeah, but you know what? That's very on theme because he's all about
All
family.
about family.
Yeah, I mean,
Of
like,
course.
Nah, it's way more plausible for him to have been brainwashed by the Soviet Union
I
during
mean,
What?
the war and frozen,
in current Fast and Furious, yes,
reprogrammed.
it's entirely possible.
Wow.
Oh, speaking
Anybody
Hobbs and
keen
Shaw.
for the new spin-off?
yeah, yeah.
I'm so keen.
We all had that same thought all at the same time.
It's because we're all keen. I'm the most keen.
I wouldn't say I'm keen, but I'll see it.
I'm keen.
I guess Jason Statham is in it, so
I do like
I'm
Jason
keen for
Statham
that.
a lot. Unpopular opinion.
You don't like The Rock.
No, I was gonna say I like Jason Statham way more than The Rock.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's not an unpopular opinion.
It's not. I thought everyone loved The Rock.
I love The Rock, but everybody else seems to hate him.
Everyone loves The Rock because he's in everything. So like,
That's
you'd be
why I hate him.
like, you'd be like, I love The Rock. He's in my favorite movie, and it's just like you pick one movie that he's been in. Yeah,
He'll do anything. The Rock is so like typecast. Well, maybe
The
not
Rock
even
only
typecast. He'll
accepts
just do
his
anything.
own role.
how else would you cast The
The
Rock?
Rock plays The Rock in all of his
That's it.
movies.
That's all he does. Even in
plays
Fast
himself.
and the Furious, he plays The Rock. It's become a joke now, to the point where, like, the first time he was, like, really introduced in Fast and the Furious, he came out covered in baby oil, and they were like, smells like baby oil. It's The Rock! Like, that's exactly what it was.
Nice forehead.
The Rock is basically one big muscle slathered in baby oil.
That's it. You've got The Rock.
I bet when they're making a shitty movie, they're like, we should have a really strong character, like The Rock. And then they're like, we should just call up The Rock. He's probably down for it.
He'd probably say yes.
Yeah.
And The Rock's like, do I get to play the strong character? And they're like, yes. And he's like, I'm The Rock.
It'd be very strange to see him in like a dramatic role.
Yeah.
I think there was one movie he was in, and it's not called Walk
He's been in a few
Hard.
movies.
It's not
Thanks,
called
Cameron.
Walk Hard.
I think it's called Walk Tall, or Walking Tall, or Stand Tall, or something like
Are you
that.
sure it's not called Walk Hard?
It's not Walk Hard. It's like Walk Tall or something.
Shut up about Walk Tall. It's not a thing.
Walk Tall.
No.
It's got him and Johnny Knoxville in it. It's like semi-dramatic, I guess. He like goes back to his hometown. It's like a small town that's really corrupt.
Hmm.
The whole thing is he goes around with his own brand of justice, and he's got this piece of wood.
Right.
Alright, it sounds really stupid, but his main weapon is like just this piece of wood.
Yeah.
Like a plank of wood. And he goes around and just like beats up all these corrupted dudes.
Do you know why he uses the wood, though?
With this piece of wood. I don't remember why, but
I'm literally like reading it here, and it says that he returns to his hometown in the state of Washington to find work, and he finds that the lumber mill has closed and the town's big business is now a seedy casino. So he obviously takes the wood from the lumber mill and avenges it.
He should be an
Avengers.
Called
Avenger.
Walking Tall. He's the
Woodman.
Avenger. Spoiler alert.
He's gonna come out and beat Thanos to death with a log.
with the
I
piece
can't
of
wait for
wood.
that.
And he could steal it from the farm.
God.
Anyway, I actually remember that being pretty decent. It was one of those movies that you're home from primary school and you're sick and it's just on and you watch it and you're like, this is alright. Ding bong, transition.
Do you prefer the warmer or the cooler months?
Paris
Cooler.
prefers cooler.
Why is that?
Cameron, you know me so well. Why don't we just date?
Why don't
Fuck
you get
the
married?
haters. Fuck the hate boys.
Oh my god.
Sorry, you're not really my type, Paris.
Ooh.
Dude, we're like the same person.
Ooh, awkward. What's everyone's favourite season and why?
Winter, because fuck hot weather.
Okay.
Summer, because fuck cold weather.
No, shut
Ooh.
up, Cameron.
Interesting.
I think I prefer autumn.
Autumn's good.
Like, because like now weather, there's cold days, there's warm days. Today was like it's a
Today
good
was
day.
perfect.
Oh, it's a bit warm, but you know.
It was a bit warm. It was almost perfect. It was like Infinity War.
Wow.
Yeah.
My favorite season is winter because fuck summer. But you know why? You know why? Because people's their explanation for why summer's good. It's like, oh, so if you're hot, you just go to the beach and cool down. It's great. It's like, but yeah, it's so much easier to stay warm in winter than stay cool in summer. It's like summer, you can only strip down so much. Winter, you just throw some extra layers on, no problem. You know?
Well, that
And when you
is
go outside
true.
and there's light rain, go for like a little stroll in the light rain. So nice.
Well, it is true that it is easier to get warm than it is to get cold. Um, I I hate winter. It's too cold. Like,
Too cold?
yeah, like you can wear
You know
so
where
many
we
jumpers,
live? This
but
is
like
hardly winter.
it still gets cold. My nose gets cold and my ears do. And I have to wear a beanie.
You like wearing beanies.
That is true, but
Oh, got
Isn't that an
him.
excuse to wear all your good clothes and nice hoodies?
it's also true that I prefer hoodies
You
to.
can wear jeans, you don't have to wear shorts all the time.
But if I'm wearing hoodies, how do I show off my sick muscles?
True.
Wow, yeah. Forgot about that.
Like, my room gets pretty cold in winter, which isn't cool. So I have to, like,
You have
rug
to
up.
throw a layer on. Oh no.
And then, going out, you can only wear so many layers before, like, you just look stupid.
How many layers do you have to wear? We're not in Canada.
I've got no body fat, Paris.
Yeah, don't
That's
forget.
true. That's true.
I don't keep warm. I
I
like.
always forget that some people are in shape.
That's not in shape. I don't have any muscle on me either.
What's your favorite?
Muscle. Thyroid.
What's your favorite muscle, Bassie?
Wow. Well, I don't think I can mention it on this podcast.
Oh.
The
Got
brain.
him.
Please
Yes.
don't mention that on my podcast.
The brain is keeping us all alive, so we must love it. Anyway, I was always told a story about like not choosing your favorite seasons, and it's like Greek mythology, and basically this lady goes to get like a bag of coal or something, and is like, the guy's like, "What's your favorite season?" And she picks a season, and then she gets a bag of coal, and the lady after her gets asked, and she goes, "I love all the seasons equally," and she gets a bag of gold. So like, I'm not meant to choose a favorite season.
Is this your way of just avoiding the question? Like, you're asked to answer and then you're gonna, like...
No,
Get
no,
out of
no.
it.
That's what I was always told growing up, so I feel really wrong choosing a season.
But the first lady got exactly what she went out to get.
It's
Yeah,
true.
but she didn't get the gold. You're meant to love all the seasons equally, but I think I prefer spring.
Wow, you're not getting any gold now.
Because I do love winter for getting cozy and putting jumpers on and stuff, but I get really affected by the sun. And so, like,
Yeah.
maybe like 3 weeks into winter, I'm done. Like, that's enough. I need the sun.
Yeah.
See, I don't like the sun very much.
No, I'm heavily affected by it. You'll notice if it's like in the middle of summer and it rains, I'm having a terrible day. I'm like in the worst mood. You can't talk to me.
That's photosynthesis.
No, it's seasonal, what is it? Seasonal affective disorder or something
No.
like that. Sad.
I mean, I get what you mean.
I'm not
like...
a plant.
I'm not a
Wait,
plant.
vegans aren't plants? I thought that was the whole thing.
Do you want to be
No.
more like a plant? Isn't that the whole idea?
If I did, then I wouldn't eat all the plants.
It's true.
But yeah, I get what you mean. I also hate the rain, Paris. I know you love the rain, but rain sucks. You get a wet, and like if you're walking to anywhere and you get wet, then you have to sit in wet clothes, which sucks. Do you like the rain because it's depressing?
Kind of.
That's depressing.
I like walking in it, and
Ugh, no.
as long as it's
No.
not too heavy, or it could be heavy if I have a hoodie or an umbrella. But if it's like also windy and the rain's like blowing everywhere into your face and stuff, I can't stand it like that.
Oh, I was gonna say wind sucks. I hate wind.
Rain's also good because everyone's like, "Oh, it's raining. We can't do anything. We gotta stay indoors. We can't go out." So it's like you're out and you're like, "I've got the whole place to myself."
The only time I like rain is like a very light spitting when it's a warm day. Just
Have you
to
ever
cool
been
off.
to the beach and it's lightly raining? That's really nice.
So I wear glasses, so like rain is not my friend. But I love being inside and then it's raining. Because like we've got a really old house, so you can just hear
Being
all the
inside
rain.
when it's raining is nice. I'd think like having glasses in the rain would be like awesome because you get to have the look out the window when it's raining. Sad moments everywhere you go.
Except then you can't see anything and then you can't go anywhere. So it doesn't really matter.
Can you get like miniature wiper blades and you can just like wipe it off yourself?
I could, I guess, but
It's
it
worth
sounds
it.
like a lot.
It's worth it for a walk in the rain.
Could you imagine? That'd be so good, like just seeing people's reaction to you just walking around wiping glasses with little wiper blades.
It's like a little squeegee that she just has.
Yeah.
But then that's another thing I have to carry around. That's too much.
Ding bong.
Transition. Vassy, you back? Vassy.
Vassy, your clear framed glasses look so good.
I'm here, what'd you say?
Nothing. Let's move on.
She just wants us to compliment her. This is all her master plan. You can just ask, we'll do it.
No. You know, I'm not like the biggest fan of compliments.
Me neither.
I can't hear anything. I can hear snippets and then it dies off. I don't know what this problem
We just have to keep complimenting her, Cameron. That's the only way it'll work.
You look nice with glasses on. And without
I'm not
glasses
wearing
on.
glasses. Damn. I feel like more like myself without them, you know? That's just it.
When I think Vassy, I think glasses.
I thought you didn't know she had glasses, Paris.
What? I never said that.
What?
Weren't we talking about that before? You said you like see her without them on.
I said I have seen her without them on. Because she said, I wear them all the time. And then I said that to counteract her point. And then I said, checkmate, Greek Orthodox. And I don't think she heard.
What?
Yeah, she definitely didn't hear that.
That's so mean.
What do you mean it's mean?
I think that's mean.
Anyway, Paris was asking, are man-child people allowed to have opinions and explain stuff?
Can I have a man-child example?
Paris.
Us.
Or us.
But more me.
Look, depends what you're explaining. If it's within the realm of man-child expertise, I would say go for it. But general life stuff, I mean...
General life stuff.
Oh, fuck. I'm not on the bowl.
No.
Ding bong.
Transition.
I get very bad FOMO. Sidebar. Anyway.
First out.
No, that's fly in, fly out. That's FIFO.
Or first in, first out.
Anyway, I mean FOMO, like fear of missing out. I feel like we've spoken about this before.
We're speaking in real life, but I honestly keep forgetting what it stands for.
Fear of missing out.
That really makes sense.
Isn't it a music festival?
It was
That's
created from
FOMO.
the concept FOMO. No, that's the worst place on earth. Don't ever go there. Anyway, FOMO was a music festival that was created off of the idea of getting FOMO. So FOMO the festival only has one stage, so you don't miss any acts. That's the whole concept.
I think everyone gets a little sad when they're not invited to things.
I hope Oasis is listening to that.
Fuck you, Oasis.
Yeah, fuck you, Oasis.
Ooh, hot takes.
Keep that.
I am keeping it. Probably.
Maybe.
He pulls the... Yeah, but you're always invited. I don't have to
I'm
send
sorry,
you an
I think
invite.
that line is rubbish. You're always invited is a rubbish line, and it's just a cop-out.
That
Let's
is
be
true.
real.
I don't really feel like I'm invited unless I get someone saying, hey, you want to go to this thing? I know, like, when it's in a group chat, it's like, oh, well, that's obviously to everyone.
The thing is with group chats, and the reason I like them is because I can just be like, hello, group, let's do this. And I don't have to invite people separately. I hate asking people individually.
Me too, a bit. So I guess I'm kind of a hypocrite when I say I want an individual message, but I don't send them out. But it's still the way I feel. And I just dance the way I feel.
Wow.
Speaking of wow, It's time to end the show.
Is that land I see in the distance?
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye. Like and subscribe.
Or don't.